Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel, and today we're looking at a brand new product, and that is CubeBuster by Harrius. This is, as with most of and probably all of Harrius's products, a winner. It's a great product, very well produced, and one that I am going to use in my show as part of my closing act. So I'm just going to say a lot of good things about it. I'm just saying it right now. So yeah, let's roll the intro and learn why I like this so much. Let's get into it. Perfect, so you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about CubeBuster. Now, what is CubeBuster? CubeBuster, in the simplest sense, is RD360 on steroids with an added twist at the end. That's the simplest way to describe what this is. And a better way to describe what this is and do a small performance. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do the entire performance. I'm just going to do this and explain to you how it would go so you just understand how I'm going to be performing this in my show. Essentially, I would come up and introduce the chances of winning the lottery, how impossible that is, and how many combinations there are to win the lottery. Then I would proceed to have a lottery ball selected. In my case, it's going to be lottery ball number 58 in every single case, but I digress. And then you would introduce something and you tell them, you know what has even more possibilities than the number of lottery numbers almost? It's the possibilities that you have of shuffling a Rubik's Cube, and not just any Rubik's Cube, a more interesting one that you may have not seen, one like this. Then you'd introduce this, you can see this from far, and you would give it out for the spectators to mix. So they're gonna go mix, mix, mix. You deliver the pattern that you want. I'm still working on that, but they would mix it, and then you tell them, perfect. So now this is mixed, and this is probably will never be replicated before, has probably never been replicated before, or will probably never be replicated in the future. And you can see it is still mixed inside of the bag. But what I am going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to solve this while it's inside of the bag with just one hand. So then you tell them to count down from 10, and then you would proceed to solve it inside of the bag however you want. I won't do the entire 10 seconds because you do understand what I'm doing. And then you tell your spectators that you've managed to solve the cube in exactly 10 seconds. But not only that, you maybe took a bit more time than this 10 seconds because you tried to do something interesting. You had a ball selected from the start by the audience members. Who selected it? Let's say it was you. What was the number you selected for the first time? Say with a loud voice so everyone can hear, they're going to say 58. And you tell them, I had a feeling about that because I took a few more seconds just to make sure that I had number 58 solved on the side of the Rubik's Cube. And you can see that number 58. So that is CubeBuster. So that is your CubeBuster routine, the way that I am going to be performing it. I still need a bit of practice. I just got this a bit recently. I'm just trying to, I've still been trying to get it down very smooth. So maybe there was a bit of a hiccups in that performance, but nothing really too bad, I hope. So having said all that, let's get into the product review, which is the first one. Where do you buy this? How much does it cost? And what do you get? So you can buy this currently at henryharriuspresents.com. It is not available anywhere else at the time of writing, but I do suspect, as with every Henry product, it's going to be available at other shops in the near or coming future. Usually it's like a month, two, maybe more, but usually it's around that time frame. But for now, it's only available at henryharriuspresents.com. It's going to set you back $169.95 US. And what you get is this. The first thing that you get is your beautiful packaging, typical Henry Harrius packaging. I was lucky enough to be among the first 50 people that have purchased this, and I got the box signed by Henry. I really appreciate that. This is going to go on my shelf, and I'm really happy that I managed to get his signature on this because I really like his product. So I managed to get that, but normally you won't get the signature, you're just going to get the box. Inside of the box, you're going to get your CubeBuster gimmick and your CubeBuster cube. I won't go more into that. I'm sure that most people know kind of what you're getting here, since I mentioned RD360 and he talks about that as well in numerous places, so I don't think it's much of a spoiler or anything, but you're getting the cube and the gimmick, and this is like literally incredible. Like it's incredible. Like this is the gimmick. Like this is incredible. Like the quality of this is incredible. And as with the RD360, you do have the ability to do that, if you know what I mean, but incredible. Like this is incredible. Like the quality of this is, I've close to none. I think it's the best quality that he's ever managed to do. This is literally the most realistic thing I've seen in my entire life. Like if you would put this on a desk, I would bet $100 that this is a real cube. But I digress. You're getting that. Then you're also getting some sheets of sticky things. I don't really know how to explain that, but you're getting a sheet of sticky things with quite a few sheets of your stickers that you stick on the cube. And what those sticky sheets allow you to do is make the process of sticking everything to your cube much faster. So instead of going one by one by one by one, you place your stickers on the table, you take the sticky sheets, you glue the sticky sheets over the stickers, you then remove the sticky sheet, which also removes the stickers themselves, and then you just apply the sticky sheet on the face of the cube, and then you slowly peel it off, and the stickers will be glued. And as you can see, they glue beautifully. So it's gonna glue everything perfectly, and instead of going one by one, you just do all of the face at one time. And then when you want to do the numbers, is the same thing. You just remove the parts where you want to have a hole. So for example, on this face, I just put the sticky sheet on the table. I removed all of the red stickers forming this pattern on the sticker sheet. I glued that in, placed it in, it filled in all of the red blanks, and I just one by one, just because I wanted to, I stuck all of the white squares in the remaining spaces. And I did the same thing with the 5, but the opposite. I put all of the white things, I removed it. You get what I mean. So it just makes the applying of the stickers much easier and much faster than going one by one by a 7-on-7. So you get that. And then additionally to all of this, you also get your instructional video, which is, I believe, around 27.5, so 28 minutes with Henry, as usual, well shot, well mic'd. He teaches you how to apply everything, how to take care of this. He teaches you different routines, different handlings, like a magical solve, the bag solve, which he calls the skill solve. So he teaches you everything that you need to know about this in really good detail, as usual. And then, of course, if you were some of the people that pre-ordered this, you also got sent some bags. I don't know if these are going to be sent to people if they buy it directly from Henry. I know if you're going to buy it from dealers, you're not going to get these with it. But since I pre-ordered it, I got some bags. I also got a 1x1 cube for a gag that I know it's not going to come with the product if you don't pre-order. And that is essentially what you're getting, with an additional document, which is a Google Docs, that's going to show you how to make these different patterns. So on that document, you have all the numbers from 0 to 9, as well as the suits and the value of playing cards. So you know how to do those. And then he also gives you templates where if you want to predict something else, like if you want to put some initials, you can use those templates to see how the initial would look on the face. And then you're ready to go to print it on your cube. So you get all of that with your purchase. Now, let's talk just a bit about a miscellaneous thing before we continue on the review, about the sticking process. So you are going to have to do a one-time sticking process to do this. It took me around, I'd say, 35 minutes to stick everything, including this, and make everything look beautiful and make everything copacetic and everything look nice. So you do want to take your time. It took me, as I said, 30, 35, maybe maximum 40 minutes. And I think the thing that a lot of people are interested in knowing is, let's say now that I've committed to 58, do I have to stay with 58 for my entire life? And the answer to that is no. You can just remove your stickers. You can remove this, you can remove this, and reapply it with any other pattern that you want. It is going to take a bit of time, but you're not limited to just this. And Henry already has refill stickers for these, so you can buy them. They're really inexpensive, and you can literally, after every show, if you want, just change your faces. It's probably going to take you maybe 15-20 minutes per face to remove all the stickers and reapply them with your new pattern. But it is worth it if, you know, you're going to a gig and you want to do something special. You could put like the initials of the company here or whatever. But I just wanted to mention that yes, you can, you're not committed to just one set of reveal. You can change it to your heart's content if you so want. It will take a bit of time, but you know, it is going to be well worth it for your shows if you do want to do that. So having said that, let's get into the difficulty. Is this difficult to perform? And the answer is no. There's pretty much nothing you have to do, really, in all honesty. If you're familiar with other of Henry's products, like the Rubik's Dream or Rubik's Dream 360, there's not much you have to do personally, right? The gimmick does all the work for you. Here, it's literally that, right? Sometimes I rant about products saying the gimmick does all the work for you, but by the time you need to use the gimmick, you had to do 3 passes, 2 double lifts, a second deal, a bottom deal, and then the gimmick does the work for you, right? But here, that's not the case. Literally, you just give it to shuffle by the spectator, you place it back in the bag. You can either remove it and show that it's still shuffled, or you can show it from the bag. And then as you proceed to shuffle, you do everything that you need to make this work. So pretty much self-working, you don't have anything to do. In regards to perform this effect, beginner friendly, super easy to do. Just get a presentation and think of a cool routine to make with the reveal possibility, whether it's a number, a playing card, whatever you want, you can do that and just have fun. So it's really not that difficult. Now let's talk about practicality. Is this practical to perform? Now, clearly this wasn't made to be your walk around Rubik's Cube, right? This wasn't made for you to put in your pocket and do it on the streets and at the bar and everywhere you go. This was meant more, in my opinion, I feel deep down, for stage and parlor. But of course, if you have a carrying case and you do perform from table to table, you can carry this around with you, and it is going to be practical to carry around in that case since you already have your bag. But if you like to pack small for closer environment, for like walk around table hopping, and you don't like to have a bag, you just like to have a few things in your pocket, this is not going to go into your pocket, but we're going to get to that a bit in the where to perform section. But I just wanted to mention that here, since it does play a part in practicality, because you can't just shove this in your pocket logically and have it in your pocket the whole day as an EDC. Whereas the normal cube, even though you can't shove it in your pocket, you can place it maybe in a jacket pocket or something and carry it around with you. Whereas this, even in a jacket pocket, would maybe be too much. Apart from that, you will need a bag. So you'll need this and a bag to carry around with you for obvious reasons. You're going to have to do this in a bag. You can't solve the cube like a speed cube. It's not like that. So you will need a bag. So basically, to carry around, you're going to need this. So these 2 items. And then if you want to do a reveal, you're going to have to carry around additional things, right? So for me, this is mostly for stage, so it's not a problem carrying around. But for other people, just so you know, you'll have this and that to carry around, and then whatever you want to reveal. If you want to force something with a card or a number, you're going to need to have those ready with you to be able to force. Except for that, you don't need a table to perform this. You can perform this standing up. There's no angle issues with this whatsoever. The bag takes care of all the angles that you would need. There's no angle issues. There's not really much noise from this. It's pretty much silent. Even in a silent environment, I don't think much was going to be heard, because you do talk about it and then you flick your fingers in the bag, so it makes a lot of noise. If ever people were to hear something, it's probably going to be covered by the bag. So there's no talking involved here. And lastly, the reset is relatively quick, as you just reveal this. And then as you go to your next table, it's probably going to take you maybe 5 seconds to reset and be ready to go to your next table if that's what you want to do. Or if you're like me and you perform this in a parlor or stage show, you literally just leave the cube like that on the table, or you can put it on a small pedestal or under like a big glass or something, right? You can do that. But yeah, there's not really any reset problems as well. It's relatively quick. So having said that, let's talk about where to perform. So where did you perform this effect? I kind of already hinted at it, so I'm going to go quickly. In my honest opinion, I do think this plays better for parlor and stage. I do think it excels there, but it doesn't mean that you can't perform it in table hopping walk around. You can definitely do that if you carry a case. You can plop this and this in your case and you're ready to go. So it's not much of an issue, but I do think this excels in parlor or stage environments because it is very big and it plays to a bigger crowd. And yeah, I do think it plays better in that type of scenario. So having said all of that, let's get into the positives and negatives of CubeBuster. So let's start with the negatives as we always do. What are the negatives for CubeBuster? There's not many, to be honest. There's not many. I kind of struggled to find some negatives to tell you about this, and I think if I am really stretching the fabric here, the only negative that I'd have to say about this is not really your walk around cube trick that you're gonna, or your everyday carry cube trick, right? You have other products by Henry that you could do there, like the mini cube to chocolate or the actual RD360 or any other products that are going to be much more casual for like street performances and impromptu type performances. And this is not really built or made for that. So I think that's the only negative that I can stretch here because I don't think so I think that's the only negative that I can find. In terms of positives, one, the quality, as you would expect, is incredible. The teaching is very, very good. The routine is very, very good. Everything works as expected. I love the reveal at the end. I think it is an incredible idea. I think it is incredible. I think it is great. The premise of this is great. It's easy to do. It's visual for a big crowd or a small crowd. It has no angle issues. The cube can be shuffled by the spectators. And yeah, it's just a very good product. So all in all, let's talk about if I would recommend this and what would I rate it out of 10. I think that if you do any cube magic, you have to put this in your set. It is great. If you don't do cube magic because you're someone that performs more parlor stage or never really liked just solving a cube, didn't find it that magical, the possibility that you have to reveal something while solving the cube, I think could appeal to a lot of people, because I do know some people are like, oh, but solving a cube is not that impressive, right? It's not that magical, even though for spectators it is. But with here, you do have that magical punch in the fact that you can reveal anything on the face of the cube, which I think is going to appeal to a lot of people. So I do recommend it, even for people that don't do cube magic in their set or have been reticent about it. This may change your opinion on that and your idea on that, because I really think it is great. So having said that, I do recommend it. What would I rate it out of 10? I'm going to rate CubeBuster a 10. I don't usually rate a lot of products a 10, but this is a 10. It is great. It's going to my show. I think usually I've done some cube magic in my shows, but I've not done it always, because I've always, I've done, for example, Venom Cube. I love performing it, but other things I don't really perform in my shows. I usually perform more casually, like RD Instar RD360s or Tornado Cube. I don't really perform those in my actual set. I just have those for myself, but this goes into my set, and I think it's going to stay in my set for quite some time. I think it's going to get some great reactions. I've not yet performed it to a live audience, but I do think it's going to get some incredible reactions, and I can't wait. So a 10 on 10 for me. It's great. You will not be disappointed with your purchase in the slightest here. Another great product by Henry. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope this was informative. As always, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them down below. I will be always happy to answer them. And yeah, see you in my next review. Have a good one, and bye-bye.